Hey, how's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the Worthington Cantina. Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be covering my physical media collection, which includes some Xbox games, some DVD, Blu-ray, VHS, CD, you name it. Anything physical media related, I'm going to be showing off today. This is my entire physical media collection, minus my vinyl records, which we'll be doing a separate video on, so stay tuned. So starting off here, we have got Battlefront 2015. This was a magnificent game. I love this one. Only thing I have to say about this one is it only lasted about 2 years before Battlefront 2 2017 came out, which was also a fantastic game. Next up here we've got Battlefront 2 2017. This one is probably my favorite game of all time. Honestly, it was such a great game. Shame that they stopped supporting it. There's a lot of controversy over this one. Had a pretty rough launch with the microtransactions, but I think it turned out to be a great game. Just could have used a little more updates here and there. And we got Star Wars Outlaws. This one is still a pretty new game. Came out last August, and I can say that I have completed this game, and it's a pretty good game. I don't think it was worth the $70 price tag they put on it, but if it's on sale or whatever, I would highly recommend going ahead and picking this one up. I would say that it didn't really meet my expectations, but it was still a good game. Open world Star Wars game, can't complain. And here we've got Star Wars Squadrons, which I've only played a handful of times, so I can't really say a whole lot about this one. It's basically Starfighter Assault from the Battlefront games. It was alright. I mean, you're not really missing out much on this one. I would probably not recommend this one, to be honest. Still glad we got it, but I feel like EA could have done a lot more with the license, Star Wars license. And we've got Jedi Fallen Order. This is another one that I only probably got 25% of the way through, so like I got a good understanding of what the game is. It was a great game. Nothing to complain about. For me, it was a lot of puzzle solving and strategy and stuff like that, which typically aren't my type of games, but the story was great. The story was, I mean, honestly, it was amazing. And hopefully they make like a live action or something one day. I would love to see that. And this one's just the deluxe edition of that same game, which I just bought this because it was a great price. I don't even think I downloaded this. Still need the Jedi Survivor game. I need to go ahead and come back to these games and play through the entire trilogy, because I think there's a third one coming out eventually, or at least it's announced. Here we've got Star Wars The Force Awakens Lego Edition. I think I played through this game, if I'm not mistaken. It's been a while, so I apologize. Don't really remember too much, but these Lego games are always a blast. I mean, say what you will about the film itself, but the Lego games are always great games and highly recommend playing them. You just can't really take these games too seriously. Next up here we've got the Steelbook version of Star Wars Outlaws. This was like the Target exclusive. The game itself, what I got was, I think, a GameStop exclusive. You got different cosmetics for buying them at the different outlets. And if you bought it at Target, you got the Steelbook edition, which I actually bought. after the fact on eBay. It was a great price. It was like less than $10, so I was like, might as well go ahead and buy the steelbook. And it's a pretty cool steelbook too, I'm not gonna lie. Next up here we've got Star Wars on Kinect. This is another game I just kind of picked up for a good price. I don't think I've ever played this. Maybe I did when I was younger, but I couldn't tell you guys anything about this one might be the one with like the Han Solo dance actually. Maybe I did play it, I just don't really remember this game. Or I've seen like TikToks and YouTube videos of it, of the Han Solo dance. It's a pretty silly game, I think. But I mean, it was great back in the day. Here we've got Revenge of the Sith on the original Xbox. So I never actually played this game before, and I don't even honestly think I've ever seen gameplay of it. It's just, this wasn't, the type of games I played when I was younger. And I think it'd be really hard for me to go back to some of these older games and actually enjoy them when you're getting like these newer games with a lot better graphics and whatnot. It's kind of hard to go back. We've got Star Wars: The Clone Wars on the Wii, lightsaber duels. I do think I recall playing this when I was younger. It came with like these foam lightsabers. Once again, I don't really remember too much about this, but I do remember having a blast with this one. We used to have a Wii, and I think we had the foam lightsabers that you'd swing with the remote. It was pretty cool. Next up here we've got Star Wars The Phantom Menace Episode 1. This is the soundtrack on CD. These CDs are pretty cool. I mean, it's a CD, so I mean, there's not much to it. You can listen to all this music on Apple Music if you'd like, or you can go ahead and put these in a CD player and kind of listen to them raw. I usually will typically pick these CDs up if they're a good price. Otherwise, I don't really care too much. We've got Attack of the Clones. Once again, soundtrack on CD. You can take the pamphlets out and they fold out to be like posters and whatnot. Phantom Menace has obviously got an iconic Star Wars soundtrack. Duel of Fate's couple of my favorite Star Wars soundtrack, I'd say. Score, I mean. Prequels in general, I mean, once again, say what you will. People have their opinions about these films, but the soundtracks on any one of these films is magnificent. John Williams and his orchestra did a great job. New Hope CD, this one I got in the Antique Mall. Like half off, still sealed. Once again, I mean, great soundtrack. I mean, I could sit down and talk about the soundtracks all day. This one is John Williams and his orchestra, I think, kind of like independently performing the Star Wars soundtracks. I think he was like in Japan or something for this one. And they just kind of recorded his live performance, if I'm not mistaken. He plays some of the most iconic scores from the original trilogy, I think it is. I don't think he plays anything from the prequels in this one. This is a pretty early tape. And here we've got a Star Wars trilogy box set. So this has got the full original trilogy, New Hope, Return of the Jedi, and Empire Strikes Back, all in one. Although I don't think this is an original, I think this is a different orchestra that had nothing to do with the films, and they just kind of made this box set. I don't think it was John Williams or anything that had anything to do with that CD box set. Next up here we have got, this is the original trilogy on Blu-ray. Obviously the Blu-ray is going to be a lot better quality, so it's nice to have the original trilogy on Blu-ray, opposed to just having them on DVD for obvious reasons. It's nice to have them on both, kinda. You know, it's also nice to go back to the original, like, despecialized editions to see how the films were originally intended to be watched. And then it's also nice to come back to these Blu-ray, to them in Blu-ray, and watch them in a lot better quality. Next up here we've got Solo. Yeah, Solo on Blu-ray. This was a great film. I mean, I know a lot of people didn't like it, but it was nice to get away from the Skywalker trilogy and go ahead and kind of see Han Solo's upbringing. Woody Harrelson did a great job. Next up we've got Star Wars Rogue One. This one is by far my favorite Disney era film. It really was an awesome film. I mean, in one way it's too bad they killed off all the characters, because I just don't see them making another Rogue One film, you know. But it's also nice, you know. It's nice to feel some loss. It's nice to see all of your favorite characters die, because then you care about them a lot more, I think. That's what we don't get with these. So we've got Star Wars The Rise of Skywalker. This is a still sealed copy. So, believe it or not, this is my unpopular opinion. This was my favorite sequel. I like this film a lot more than The Force Awakens or The Last Jedi. I really did enjoy this film, I'm not gonna lie. Maybe they went a little crazy with Rey's powers. And there's some other things I didn't like, but it was an enjoyable film. Here we've got The Last Jedi. I mean, once again, an unpopular opinion, I did enjoy this film. Obviously there was a lot of things that I didn't necessarily like or I would change myself, but the film is what it is, and I mean I enjoy it. I still go back to it to this day and watch it. Here we've got it in 4K Ultra HD, which is just a lot better quality. I think this is a sealed copy as well. But I mean, in terms of Star Wars, this is probably my least favorite Star Wars film. But when you start comparing it to other movies, you know, that equate to Star Wars, maybe Star Trek or Pirates of the Caribbean, or, you know, any large trilogy like that, Harry Potter, it's still a great film. I mean, The Last Jedi is a great film. Force Awakens. I remember being so hyped over this film. I remember seeing the trailers with Han Solo and Chewie, and Han Solo's just like, "Chewie, we're home." It was a great clip. Once again, a lot of people didn't like it, but, you know, I still enjoyed it. I mean, I enjoy anything that says Star Wars on it, to be honest with y'all, so maybe my opinion doesn't matter much. We've got R2-D2 Beneath the Dome. This one is a mockumentary. It's a weird one. I haven't watched it myself. I've seen maybe a few clips on it, but I think it's just like an R2-D2 documentary, or To be honest with y'all, I don't know. I'm not sure. Here we've got the limited edition Return of the Jedi on widescreen. So this is the despecialized edition. So basically it doesn't have like all those special edition add-ons. This is like the raw film. This is exactly how George Lucas originally intended the film to be watched. But then he went back later on and made a lot of changes to the films, and that's why we got the special editions, which I think is what people are most familiar with. Here we've got the Phantom Menace on looks like widescreen. It's crazy, you can pick the prequel trilogy up for like $1 a piece at half-price books. I mean, I know the generation before me didn't really like the prequels, but I mean, me being a 21-year-old and growing up on these, I really enjoyed them. I thought they were great. There's a lot of politics in the first one, The Phantom Menace. But here we've got the Attack of the Clones. This one, I'm not gonna lie, Anakin was a little annoying and just sometimes there was a lot of cringe moments in Attack of the Clones. But it also had some of my favorite moments or scenes in Star Wars. Like the one where all the Jedi are fighting on Geonosis. We got Revenge of the Sith. Once again, one of my all-time favorite Star Wars films. There really probably isn't, honestly, anything I could say bad about this film. I mean, it was a great film altogether. There's not really one moment where I was like, yeah, this isn't that good. Or there wasn't really one moment that I was disappointed with. Here we've just got the prequel trilogy on full screen as well. Which, to be honest with you, I don't think I can tell you all the difference between full screen and widescreen. I know one's got like the black bars on each side of the screen. That kind of makes the screen smaller. But I don't remember what that is. I think it's maybe widescreen that does that. Or maybe it's full screen, excuse me. But I think I saw the full screen set for like $1 a piece again. So I was like, man, for $1 a piece, I'll go ahead and pick them up.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Now we've got, starting to get into some box sets here. We've got, I think this is full screen, original trilogy. No, this is widescreen. The silver box set. It's got the original trilogy in here. And I picked this up for, looks like $5. Yeah, $5. Pretty good for a box set. I mean, 3 films. And it also comes with the bonus material disc. So you can see like all the behind the scenes work, I guess. I don't think I've watched those yet. Or at least it's been a while. I think I did watch the original trilogy bonus material once. It's got some really interesting stuff about the films and how they were created, and it gives you a lot of just cool footage of some of the work they did. Here we've got the gold box set, which I guess is the full screen. Same exact stuff here, but it's just widescreen. And now we've got Star Wars, the Yoda Chronicles. With these Lego movies, I haven't watched these, I don't think. Although I have read the back of these discs, and I thought the stories were really cool. were really interesting. There's one of like a clone Jedi. I think that's the one I was just holding. It's pretty cool. This one's Star Wars The Empire Strikes Out. I mean, knowing what Lego usually does, they're probably really silly, you know, a lot of comedy. And, you know, I assume you just can't go into these movies taking them really seriously, you know. Here we've got Star Wars Clone Wars movie. I've heard people say some negative things about this one, but I thought it was great. I mean, I remember watching this so many times when I was younger. And it's honestly a great introduction to the Clone Wars series. You know, this is the first thing I would highly recommend watching before you go into the Clone Wars series. You know, seasons 1 through 7. Obviously, I would say the biggest highlight is the introduction to Ahsoka Tano's character, Anakin's Padawan. Here we've got the Clone Wars. This is like the original version of the Clone Wars, Volume 1. I still yet have to get Volume 2. If you're wondering why the case is blue, this was actually a library copy. I bought it on eBay and didn't know it was a library copy until I got it in the mail. And then I was like, man, I got this thing for so cheap, I'm not going to go ahead and send it back, so I kept it.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Next up, we've got Star Wars Rebels, Spark of the Rebellion. It's been a minute since I've watched this one, but I think I do recall it a little bit, and same thing with this one. It's just a movie that I'd highly recommend watching before you go into the Rebels series. I mean, I don't think you're going to be missing a whole lot if you don't watch it, but it's still just a nice introduction to the series. Here we've got one of my favorites. I mean, Star Wars, The Clone Wars, Season 7. I mean, I could sit here all day and talk about this season. I mean, it was so great. The story was just amazing. I mean, the Clone Wars stuff and the people that work on these animated series just do such a great job. This season, I mean, it was amazing. One of my favorite pieces of Star Wars right there. Except we've got the Clone Wars The Lost Missions Season 6, I believe it is. This was honestly not one of my favorite seasons. I mean, the lore got pretty heavy in this season. It's just like when Yoda goes ahead and talks to those witches at the end and whatnot. It just really wasn't interesting to me, you know? Here we've got Clone Commandos. This is basically just like 4 episodes out of the first season of the Clone Wars. And they just kind of made it into a movie. They kind of made it into one disc. I mean, if you have a Clone Wars box set, you don't need this. I think I just got a good price on these, so I went ahead and picked them up. Once again, we've got A Galaxy Divided. This is like the first 4 episodes out of the first season. I think these were like special editions you could get at Walmart back in the day. Because you couldn't buy the Clone Wars on DVD back in the day. You could just buy these 2 disc that had some of the first episodes of the series, and then they later came out with these box sets, which I'm about to show y'all, and they have all of the seasons. They've got some other box sets that you could buy before this, but this is just the one that I have, seasons 1 through 5. On DVD. I still have to get Blu-ray. The Clone Wars on Blu-ray has skyrocketed in price. I mean, it's not cheap anymore. So what I think I'll do is hunt down either a box set for a good price or buy the disc in pieces. So, you know, maybe buy season 1 here and buy season 2 and 3 there. You know, go ahead and piece a box set together myself. I don't know, but Blu-ray is hard to obtain for the Clone Wars, at least for a reasonable price, I would say. Now we have got the Phantom Menace Collector's Edition. This is a sealed copy, but it comes with like an art book, comes with like a film cell, and then the VHS, if I'm not mistaken, yeah, widescreen. This is not a opened box set, so I can't really show y'all. Next up here we've got Phantom Menace on the VHS, the standard copy, standard issue. They never released Revenge of the Sith on VHS, which is really upsetting because you just kind of have a incomplete, you know, trilogy on VHS. I wish they would have went back and released Revenge of the Sith on VHS, but they never did. It's about the time where DVD was getting very popular, so they never ended up releasing it. Attack of the Clones on VHS here. But yeah, they definitely should have released Revenge of the Sith on VHS because people during that time were still playing movies on VHS. But I mean, DVD was obviously by far DVD was obviously by far more popular than VHS. I think there's some like bootleg copies that you can get of Revenge of the Sith on VHS, but yeah, it's just not worth it to me. I don't really care that much. Ewoks on VHS. This is like a very, very old series. I think it's from the 1980s or something like that. I can't remember, but yeah, I haven't watched it. It's more of like it's very childish, you know, children's show. But it's very vintage, and that's why I really like having that copy. The making of Star Wars here on VHS. If I recall right, this one was a Walmart exclusive that you could buy separately from the box sets. I don't know that for a fact, but I'm pretty sure this was a Walmart exclusive. Yeah, and it's just the same. It's like the bonus material for the DVD box sets, basically. Next up here, we have got Droids. And there's some other VHS tapes in this series for Droids and Ewoks. But these are just the two copies that I have right now. And again, I've never watched this, but I remember that in this series you get to meet Boba Fett. It's his first appearance in the Star Wars universe. We've got the original trilogy box set. I think this is widescreen. I keep forgetting, but this is the special edition. So this is when George Lucas went back and made a whole bunch of edits to his original trilogy. Added a whole bunch of CGI and changed some things here and there. And in my opinion, they were pretty significant changes, you know. Others might disagree with that, but I thought they were pretty significant changes. So that's why I like to watch the original version of the original trilogy. And then I go back to this version, special edition, because it's just kind of nice to see them in both formats. And that's the importance of buying physical media, because I'm not sure what version of the original trilogy like Disney Plus has or whatever, but one day you're not going to be able to watch the despecialized version of the original trilogy. You're only going to be able to watch the special edition. unless you've, of course, invested in physical media. So that's what makes me feel a lot better about buying Star Wars on physical media, is that I know I'll always have the option, the choice to watch Star Wars in whatever way I want. Here we've got another original trilogy box set. I think, I don't recall, this might be the untouched version without all of George Lucas's edits, if I'm not mistaken, but they made quite a few box sets for the original trilogy back in the day. But these are pretty cool box art. This next box set I'm going to show you, though, is one of my favorite pieces of physical media as far as Star Wars goes, because it's got like a whole bunch of this cool artwork on the VHS tapes, and like it's awesome. I'm not gonna lie, this box set, the artwork's, it's a little boring, you know. It's just there's not a whole lot going on the front of these covers compared to what this box set I'm about to show you has, which came out before this one. It's like the artwork kind of got worse over time. And this is the original box set. So if I'm not mistaken, this is the first box set they made for the original trilogy. It's got a lot going on here. It's got some cool artwork on the outside of the box. And you open it up, and it kind of folds out and shows some more artwork.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, that's just so cool. So retro, like, it's so cool. Very vintage. Just shows some scenes from the films, and then it's got that like old school Star Wars look on the outside. Man, those are just so cool. Looks like this box set's from Fox Video. They also came out with a CBS version of these tapes, I believe. So here we've got A New Hope, and as y'all can see, it's like the original poster art on these VHS tapes. This one's honestly in pretty good condition. I mean, I've seen these VHS tapes in a lot worse condition. Here we've got Empire Strikes Back. Once again, this one's, I mean, the art, it just covers the entire outside of this box, and I love that. There's a lot of colors, usage of characters. They just did such a great job with these boxes. And the last but not least, here we have got Return of the Jedi. And this one has got my favorite box art. I just love the old school Star Wars poster art, if you know what I mean. So yeah, with that being said, y'all, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Stay tuned for a lot more content just like this. Some unboxings. I got a Star Wars vinyl record collection I want to go ahead and show y'all. A loose 3 3/4 inch figure collection I want to go ahead and show y'all. I got a lot in store for y'all, so stay tuned to the Worthington Cantina, because there's a lot more to come. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and hit that bell notification for more videos like this.